up high. I'm taking a trip high up in heaven. I'm taking a trip to be with my friends.
We have two aspects in that gallery, two aspects of Howard's work. One is prints. We have a number of prints in different categories: a lithograph, dry point, offset lithography, or commercial prints, silk screens, and even a computer graphic that he did here at Lehigh the first time that he worked with a computer. But one of our feature elements down there, one of the unique things in Lehigh collection, is that portfolio known as the Cloud portfolio. And the story goes that when Howard came to Lehigh in 1986, that whole 2 weeks there were a lot of things happening, a lot of involvement with students, a lot of activities going. This student of mine, Patty Bustani, of a class of 87, she not only was helping us in the museum, in the in the galleries, but she was also very much involved in photography. And I asked her to do some shots of the sky. That way, Howard could actually paint some clouds, and she did. And she printed, a number of images, and she came with the contact print, and Howard liked it, and immediately with he pulled his Sharpie and he started finding clouds and working on that. And that is history. He did something, we only did one. It's a one of a kind, and this today is one of prime and joy of our collection, that series of drawings on photograph.
Got a snoot and a mouth, and you see, I can see that.
Well, some of that work down there, some of that lithograph were done in different times, different periods of his life, from as early as 1982. They were done in different places, in different schools where Howard happened to be around, and they gave him a plate or a stone. I brought him two small lithostones, and he did draw these two very interesting images. Then, after proving, I thought that they were so interesting that I struck a deal with the Rutgers Experimental Printing Workshop, and they did two of the master printers. They did an edition, a series of them. One was Noah's Ark, and the other one was City of Lampu. That he did it here, among many, many other things. That was the beauty about that residency of Howard and family in 1986. There were a lot of different, one of a kind. Although everything that Howard did to a great extent was one of a kind, because that was the way that he did things. It was very spontaneous. He didn't, or even when he repeat works and paintings, even it's the same image, even if he repeat Washington or many other of his Elvis or himself, every time is different. There is no one time that always is that kind of freshness, always that kind of Howard touch in each work. Howard was not afraid of any material. Howard, he tackled anything. He was very, very interested and and daring, if you want to put it that way. In doing things. That was something very special.
Come on down on each side here, and it's just a sight. You just keep seeing things like that. Here's a little old cat up here. Something like. I'm taking a trip just to be with my Jesus. I'm taking a trip just to be